Hello everyone. Welcome back to Vintage Story. I'm so excited to be back in this game for real. I've been trying to play, I've been trying to play a little off camera. I had a very busy holiday weekend here, with it being Easter and all that. Very busy time, but I did manage to find a little bit of time to kind of try to find things and to fast forward a little bit of progress. So when I last streamed, it was about January, I believe. It is now almost May. We're in the final days of April here, so it has been about a month of good temperature for growing crops, which means I have food again. That was the biggest struggle that I had. I did not have enough food to actually make it through winter, so I had to go out and I had to hunt and all that other stuff. While I was out exploring, I found my elk, SOUFFLÉ. He was in a completely different area than I thought, and basically how I found him was I just bone whistled around as I traveled the map just to see if I could find him, and I got him one time. I don't know why I'm not taking my path. Well, actually, I do know why I'm not taking my path. I need to head over this way. He was way over here. So I got the little flute, and he, came over, and I whistled him over, and great, I have my elk again. Unfortunately, I cannot, for the life of me, find the location where I died. And that is important to me because that had basically all of my steel tools. There is a slight possibility that I'll be able to recover my gear if I can manage to find the location once again. So, that is sort of what I want to do. Other than try to find iron, like I always have been, I do want to head over to the woods here, because way back here is a very thick woods with bears and wolves, and that's not fun, and I need to really not die. But at least I know where I am now. I guess I was super far south of where I thought I was, and that's how I ended up in this woods. And that's how I died, and that's how SOUFFLÉ and I got lost in this mess. So what I need to do is run around, and I'm coming out here at night because it's not this guy. I have run into this guy like 3 times. It is not this trader. So that means there is another trader around here, hopefully not too far away, that SOUFFLÉ was able to be at and hear the bone flute. So I want to run around now at night, or at least get a good line of sight or something, to see if I can find any more lights for any more indicators of traders. That may not work. I'm not entirely sure, because the forest is really thick, and yeah, that isn't always something that works well, but if I see even the faintest glow of a trader, I gotta try to go there. And because it's no longer winter, I don't have to worry about freezing. I don't have to worry too much about starving because I've got food on me. All I really need to worry about are bears. Bears and I guess wolves, but bears more so because they'll like 3-shot me. So I'm not planning on getting off of SOUFFLÉ ever. We're gonna stay on my elk unless I get stuck and absolutely have to. But there is hope. Now I'm not entirely sure. I do not remember exactly where I found SOUFFLÉ. All I know is I was running around and he heard the whistle and he got to me. But it should be somewhere in this woods, because I'll know it if I could actually find the landmark, though it is nighttime, so it's kind of hard to see the actual landmarks. But, oh, good lord, get out of my way. Come on, come on, no, back up. The controls are not always the most responsive. Come on, SOUFFLÉ. Get up there. I know you can do it. There is nothing stopping you from going up. I didn't tell you to sprint. Yeah, there's a whole lot of nothing over here. And this is what sucks. It's like I need to explore when it's not pitch dark. But I also need to, like, be out when it's dark and not daylight. Because I kind of have to see the lights, but not be completely lost either. A very weird and careful balance I've got to strike here. But from here, I can get a good vantage point of the forest. I don't see any lights. I don't even see the original trader, and that is sort of the problem with dying in a forest, is it is extremely difficult to find where the heck you died at. But really, the main reason I want to find my body is I know that my steel tools are going to be there because I deliberately placed them. And with my steel tools are steel shears, which I very much want so that I can terraform some of this area that I'm living around and make things way better so that I can do real mining. That's sort of my goal. It is not that cold. I can probably make it. My temperature's fine. I don't want to sleep for too long. I think a nice dawn would be great. Somewhere around here is probably fine. Oh, look at that. It is way brighter than I thought at 5 in the morning. I thought 5 in the morning would be too early. Yeah, look at this thick forest. There is no way to tell where you are. Okay, so that is kind of the issue here. Now, I really should go get my bearings and leave the forest once again. Once I leave the forest, I know where I'm at, and I know where I need to go, what direction I need to go, but being stuck in the forest is not so great. Also, since I've been out here several times during the winter trying to find my body before, because I wanted to do that hopefully before stream, there shouldn't be too many major predators. I mean, there is a bear right there, but I think I've cleared out most of them. Okay, this is not where I need to be. I wish I knew what mountains to look for. I think this is the way I need to go. So I'm on the very, like, southern end of this forest, which is actually good because that is where I died. We know that I was mining about southeast of my mountain, and I ended up getting lost in the forest and settling down by a trader. What is this? Oh, I definitely built something here. What is this? Is this my path? This is my path. Okay, good. I did build a small, like, road of sorts to help me navigate just a little bit more. Tiny flowers. I kind of want them. Little flowers are nice to have. Good for bees, because you get to actually see your skeps without flowers being in the way of your view, but also they're flowers. I mean, not a whole lot of use for them. So yeah, this is sort of the sort of the issue here. I wish I had my shears. What are we looking for? Right here and then here. Okay. Can I ninja that? Yes, I can. All right, I have 2 more servings of turnip stew in that. So this is my path, and I've made a tiny... Oh, let's not bump my microphone. I tried to scratch my own arm and bumped into that. Whoopsie, sorry about that. Need to find where I died. And when I used the bone flute to find my elk, I found him way, way over here, I believe. It was way to the west. Like, I had passed my house by a good margin. Because, let's see, I was running along... Yeah. I was running along out here. I was on my way to my zinc mine, which got me a bunch of tin and everything. And I was out here running on these hills when I used the flute. I'm pretty sure it was these hills. And that's how I got him. So that means he was over this way. Also, big ruins, need to check these out. Gotta see what's in here. Let me in. Tool. That's not gonna be very good. Yeah, flint tools, There's stairs. This is sort of a tower. These like to have staircases. There might be an underground section to this. I don't want to waste too much time on that, but it is only 8 o'clock, so we got plenty of time for the day. It's always worth to explore, though. You never know what you're gonna find. This could be, you know, peanuts or something like that, which would be amazing. There's food. I guess that's pretty good, since I am a little low on food. Bony soil is great for candles, and if I want to do that, I can. But I already kind of... now that it's warm enough, my skeps are doing okay. This is more promising, though. Hello. Game block air. Uh-huh. That's normal. You are correct. That is game block air, devs. Whoa. What the heck? Uh-huh. I broke the air. That is, there's a bug. Uh-huh. Doesn't like me breaking ruined stuff. I'm competing with NASA today. It's too bad I lost interest in space exploration. It's not that I'm necessarily, like, I lost complete interest, but, you know, those are all... Space exploration is not on the top of my list of things in terms of stuff I want to see humanity accomplish. I have an interest in space, and I find it really interesting, but it's a rocket. Like, we've launched lots of rockets. Unless something absolutely stunningly amazing happens, I'm at a point where I'm like, can we work on Earth first? But that's just me. Anyway. I'm not gonna miss the torch holder. I saw that thing first thing. I'm being way more cautious about actually finding things in ruins like this now. At least I'm trying to be. Forage. Hey, fire clay. We take that every time. That's good to have. Spelt and flax. Dang, no unique foods. I need, like, peanuts or something. Won't complain too much, though. That's still a good find. I won't say that I won't miss anything, but I am trying to be more thorough in my investigating. Alright, so since I found him around here, that must mean that I was actually over here somewhere when I died. But that doesn't make sense because it's a field. I would have... Like, I would have known that it was in a field unless I am so far away. Unless I was, like, way back there. I don't think I was, though. Forage. Cattails are a good find. I can't complain about that. Always use cattails for skeps. Yeah, space exploration stuff I am super fascinated by, but at the same time, like I said, I am so more concerned about what humans can do on Earth for each other more than space. Trump's 1.5 trillion spending bill where he's gonna cut a bunch of things includes a bunch of healthcare for Americans. Bunch of programs and stuff to help those who actually need help. You know, people like my mom. Way, way, way more concerned about that than a rocket. Or a satellite or whatever. Whatever we end up sending into space. Come on, it has to be in this mess somewhere. This has to be it. Like, this is way, way cluttered. This feels right, somehow. Lots of pines. It's very thick. This feels right. This just feels right. I don't know how to explain it. It's probably not, but it feels right. Come on. Okay, I definitely lit a fire back here at least once. Well, then I wouldn't have found him if... Like, the fire didn't really help, so that means it's gotta be back further? This is the only place that makes sense in my mind because I would die next to a trader, and this isn't where I know of any traders. So I would imagine there could actually be one back here. This is why I want to find my stuff. I want my shears. Please give me my shears. Oh, wolf. Okay. Well, we're just gonna keep speeding right on past that. Now we're through most of it here. Dang. Here is a trader, but this is definitely not it, because it's way too open. Hector. He's an agricultural trader selling parsnip seeds. I don't have any of my gears on me. Not that I care too much. This is cool, but he's not selling anything that I want. That's a little out of the way, but I think I can make a path out here eventually. That's a good find. He just needs to sell me interesting food seeds now. This is definitely too far south. I was not in this mess. So, where on earth would this have been? If there's a trader here, that's way too close. There can't be another trader. So that means I am more north, probably, of this location. And here's where I burned down the forest, which was good. You need to be able to see once in a while. I was hoping by starting a fire out here that I would have burnt away the forest that was covering the trader I'm looking for. Even if that means burning his trader cart down, at least he would be exposed. But I have had no such luck. I've not found him. And I keep finding other traders that are not him. Oh, that's so much better. So much nicer just to have that bit cut out. Alright, well, let's keep searching, I guess. Come on, this feels so right. Where the heck could I have gone? Ooh, lots of mushrooms. Funeral belt, no thank you. Dryad saddle, though, that's good. Though I don't think I'm gonna pick those. I've got crops growing. I need to stay somewhat focused on trying to find this trader. It was in a very, very thick forest, is what I remember. And now I'm getting to a clearing. Hello, bear. Well, if I have to, I'll make another set of steel shears. I also have like a full set of steel tools out here somewhere too now. I guess if I ever find him, I'll know where I died at that point. I can't believe. Oh, hello, wolf. I can't believe that I have not found it by now. Well, that's all right. This is definitely not the way I'm supposed to be going, but now I'm kind of in it and very curious where this is. I think I've headed far more, like, I guess probably west. That's west. I'm gonna get lost again. These woods are not familiar to me. Oh my god. Why does this always happen? Let's go back this way. I need to be going more west. This mountain is not familiar to me. I miss my house with all my roads and all my landmarks telling me where I was and me knowing where everything was off the top of my head. Having to rediscover all this is a bit annoying. Okay. I'm back in familiar territory, I think. You love the moon. No worries. No problems. I am less interested in space right now. I had too many issues to deal with that affect me on Earth to care about space. Not that I don't care, but like, yeah. I got life stuff I deal with instead of fantasizing about space. I try to deal with that. I love space. But I just feel like I can't pay attention to that type of stuff these days. Not right now. This is not the trader cart. Ugh. I keep running into that guy. And I just... It's not that guy. Where could I have gotten lost at? Was it more... north? Was I in there? I doubt it. But that's the only other thing that makes sense. I did increase the font size on chat. It was something that took a few tries, because it's not a setting. Not with the stuff that I use, because I dual cast and don't pay Streamlabs. I use a different program, and so, yeah, it took some manipulating, but we got it to work. Gracie, no. Well, I found Soufflé when I was running along this ridge here. I was just spamming the bone flute, and I found him. So, I am looking for where he could have come from. Because somewhere out in some woods, there's a trader cart that has my old belongings. That I would very much like to find, because I don't like not knowing where a full set of steel tools is. But I don't know where he could have come from. It was a very, very thick forest. There's a lot of that near me. And I don't think it was mostly pine, and I don't remember there being gravel. So I don't think it's up here, but I'm running out of locations to search. So... I'm trying to do a cursory search now that it is way more warm. Trying to just see if I can, like, spot trader huts and stuff like that. And I found many trader huts. I even found an agricultural trader, which is great. But, they're not the ones that I'm looking for. Hi, Gracie. Thank you for your tail. No, please do not climb on top of the printer. That is an expensive printer, and the only thing I have. Oh, you want treats. That's what you want. Guess we have to pause real quick. Yeah, you're all purring because you want some treats. Why don't you purr into the microphone? You do that, you can have a treat. Hmm? Come over here. Let people hear you purr. You're not purring loud enough, Gracie. What is this? You're being too quiet. They can't hear you. Don't say that. Gracie doesn't know the words exactly, but she knows the sound. Okay, you're being kind of naughty, so you shouldn't be rewarded. No. I just gave you 4 treats. Actually, I think it was 5. You're being bad by getting all up in everything, and then I just gave you treats, so now you're gonna think that's a reward. That's not what we do. Hi. She's missed me. I was gone all weekend. Oh, you're okay. Now I gotta hide these away from her. Get down. What are you doing? Make a decision. Okay. Don't tail thump my TV. I gotta adjust your butt. There you go. Lay down. Good girl. Or not. Ah. Oh yeah, I've been to this one. Oh, there is a guy in here. Survival goods trader. Yeah, nah. No thanks. Yes, I feel you, Gracie. I feel your tail rubbing against my leg. I was gone all weekend. I got home pretty late last night, and, you know, we cuddled, and I gave her treats and stuff like that, and she laid down next to me, and all that fun stuff. We bonded. But now she is all around me. Why don't you go sit by the window or something? No, don't lay on the mixer. What are you doing? Move. What is happening? You are being particularly feisty today, aren't you? You can be good and lay down. Okay, where the heck is home? I am so lost because I had to take a detour for the cat. Giant forest. I think I need to be going this way, maybe. Yes. I do not want to be lost into another forest at night. It should be this way. Yeah, I think I just saw something of mine. Aha, get out of the water. I'm going to bite your tail. Alright, maybe it wasn't this way, because this doesn't look right. What are you chewing on? Please don't chew on anything. Is this right? It's so hard to tell. I don't have enough landmarks up. That's really my problem. I need to have nice big landmarks pointing towards my stuff. Like I do at my other house. There's my house. Okay. Yes, this is correct. That mountain just doesn't look right to me, but I'm not used to all the mountains around here. The only one that I'm used to is my Larch Mountain, which is, now I just said that, and now I'm lost. I think it's that one there, not the one behind it. Okay, well, for the time being, I'm going to consider my gear that I lost a lost cause. I don't want to spend all day doing that. Do the time zone changing for you have to leave earlier again? Those few weeks when the US has already shifted, but we haven't, are truly a gift. So, you're gonna be shifting time soon? Like tonight or something? I guess I wonder what that makes it for us time zone wise. Ah, you did last weekend. So what time is it for you now? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it is quite late for you. That sucks. I need to water my stuff. But oh well, it is life. Yeah, when was daylight savings time for us? First of all, I hate daylight savings time. I'm just gonna say that. I thoroughly despise the fact that there are time shifts for no reason. Let me just say that. So, it's annoying that we have to deal with this. But, yeah, when did we shift? It was 3 weeks ago, maybe? I think we as humans should just say, screw it, and not have daylight savings at all. We understand time on a completely different level than we used to. With the world being internationally connected now, where you have, you know, commerce that spans countries, not defined by one specific country. Like, the US doesn't just trade with itself anymore, we trade across the world. It only makes sense for the world to switch to the global time, Greenwich Mean Time, or whatever you want to call it. It only makes sense for everybody to be operating on those times. At least in my opinion. It's just, it doesn't make sense. When we do stuff like this, where it's like, what time is it? Every human on the planet should be able to go, it is whatever o'clock. It is, who knows? I don't know what it is. I guess I think I'm 4 hours behind it now. So it'd be about 8 p.m., I believe. We switch. We're either 5 or 4 hours behind. I think now that we've leapt forward, we are 4 hours behind. Yeah, I'm in complete agreement. So, oh well. It's the curse of life. Hey, Loopy, what's up? How's it going? We're just talking about how bad daylight savings time is. And how the world should be on a standard global time. If you care about any of that and want to join in, be my guest. Because I personally hate daylight savings time, and I hate not knowing what time it is for everybody else that I talk to. Daylight savings is at least what we in America call the time jump that we do to try to accommodate having more daylight hours in our day. So we're talking about 3 weeks ago or so, the United States decided, and not all the United States, because it varies by state to state, and they get to choose when they do it, but anyway, you know, you make decisions on what time it's going to be as a country, and for whatever reason, we have decided that during the fall and spring, we like to adjust our schedules. So in the spring, we jump forward an entire hour, an entire clock shift, 1 hour forward for no reason. The rumor was that it was for farmers way back in the day so that they would have more daylight hours to operate under whatever, blah, 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 blah. That, I believe, has been debunked several times now as just a complete lie. It had nothing to do with farmers, and I don't remember the actual reasoning behind it, but it was something along the lines of, for whatever reason, like businesses would operate better if it was daylight or some crap. Yeah, so I despise having to do that, because Helia brought it up because apparently they just changed over there about a week ago or so. And so it got the conversation going as something that I don't like, and they don't like either, because of the whole, you know, there's no real reason for it. And then we were talking about time zones and everything, how, I don't know why I'm putting that there, I have a lantern now. How it really shouldn't be, like, I personally believe that everybody should be on a global standard time too. No time zones at all. No spring forwards or backwards, no different time zones. One global clock. It is a lie. And nothing it had to do with them wanting to save on electricity costs in business buildings, yeah, during light hours. That's the reason you heard. I don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, it was blamed on farmers. It was like, so that they can tend to their crops. I'm like, the farmers will just get up when it's dawn and go to bed when it's dusk. That's what they always did. It had nothing to do with a clock. They don't care what time it is. Corn grows whenever it wants to grow. Farmers get up when they can see the corn or whatever, you know. During the last March weekend. I think we were earlier than I thought we would be. That's all I remember from it. I think it was about 3 weeks ago. But it was like, people were telling me like, oh yeah, make sure you adjust your clocks. I'm like, already? It's like mid or early March. It's like, what the heck? I don't even think we're really out of winter 100%. We're not really still in winter, but like, it's a, you know, I was just visiting my family for the Easter holiday, and it was snowing up there. They had snow on the ground. And it's like, you mean to tell me that we're jumping forward in time for some reason already? I don't know. I hate all that stuff. I need to go check on my crops because I have very little food. But I should have some turnips that are getting close to being grown. I need to have grain for my animals. I gotta feed my animals. I have a sow that is ready to have piglets, but she's not pregnant. And I apparently, maybe the male also has to eat at least one portion. Because I limited him and gave her all the food, and then now she's still nothing's happened, so yeah, there's probably something with that. Carrots are doing okay, turnips are okay. Yeah, food's gonna be an issue for a little bit until I got my first turnip harvest, which is great. But until I get a full harvest of like carrots and onions to go along with the turnip harvest, food is going to be still a bit of a struggle. But there shouldn't be any issues anymore. I have a greenhouse, so this year I should have plenty of food growing. I don't have to worry about temperatures as much. I should be able to cycle through a very, very, very large area for growing food. Like 3 times the size of what I had last year. So now I'm just waiting for berry bushes and all the other things to come online, which in about another month or so they'll be okay. In the meantime though, I'm gonna have to find food. There's tons of chickens laying around here though, so I should be able to find something. They might have changed something. The rumor I heard was that you keep the males locked away, and then they can't get to the feeding trough, and the females will be fine. They eat, and everything still goes according to plan, but now it just seems like that's not the case. You know what? I'm gonna eat a turnip, and then I'll make bread with this spelt grain. But yeah, it seems like that's not the case. She has her 10 portions, but he never got to eat a portion. And I didn't want the other animals eating. So I spooked them off so that they didn't eat. So none of my animals are actually breeding. As soon as I get some pigs, though, I'll get a couple harvests of pigs this year. I'll have tons of meat. It won't last me all winter, but that'll definitely stop me from starving all the time. I never had any spacious pens, really, because my amount of animals have always been on the low side. Like, I'd have, like 4 pigs, so I'm like, I don't care if the male eats a couple portions. Because I had more than enough grain at the time. I need to be growing my flax, honestly. I haven't been because I was trying to save it for the rice, but I can grow flax while I'm trying to grow rice too. I should have enough space to continually grow rice. No, you don't go there. You go there. Need the torch. Has to be pretty. Yes, it is very pretty to lock the men away. Starve the men. They don't deserve the food. That's what we call pretty. You're not the only one who did that. And I was like, really? They eat like 2 portions out of the 10? Like, the difference between 10 or 12 portions of food shouldn't matter at most stages. It matters to me now because I just don't even have enough food for me. I gave them some flax grain because, I mean, it's not going to matter that much. Had a little shelter, it looked all nice. And oh no, the boar happened to be locked into it. Yes, happened. I'm sure. It was a complete accident that he is isolated from the rest of his kind. He gets to have, like, only conversations through a fence. He's all alone. Only through the fence. But that's so sad. He wants to have friends too. Sorry, Mom's texting me. Ugh. The babies have to be made through the fence. It's got to be very uncomfortable for everybody involved. Yeah, she's texting me right now. Well, not right now, but she sent me a couple messages since I last looked at my phone. She had a pretty rough holiday weekend, and so did I. It was not relaxing in the slightest. It was very stressful and not fun at all, but we survived. We got to see family, which was great, but yeah, there was some high tension between my mom and her mom. My mom had been living with her for the last 2 weeks, and the two just don't really live the same way in terms of household, like, stuff. My grandma's very particular, wants things in a certain order. My mom is like, hey, what difference does it make if this is here or there? And so because of that, they did not get along well. Well, hello, friend Serbian Gamer. Do I remember you? I don't think so. I do not believe I know who you are off the top of my head. Not with that username. Unfortunately, I forget people's faces after about of like year of no contact. It's not entirely true, but I once had a guy in middle school. He went to a different school district, which wasn't very far from our school district, but it was just better. He ended up moving to a different location, and that's where the public school system would send him. He would have had to school a choice over to the current district that we were in, so he moved to the other one. And he spotted me, like, I think it was 2 years later at a public library. It was all like, oh, hey, dude, how's it going? And, like, we weren't close, but we were buddies. We knew each other and talked to each other on a fairly regular basis. And then he was like, hey, dude, how's it going? I'm like, hey. He's like, do you remember me? And I'm like, I'm gonna be real, dude, I'm sorry. I don't. Like, we weren't close. We didn't go to each other's houses. We weren't close friends or anything. But I was like, I'm sorry, guy. I'm having a hard time remembering you. And he was like, oh, it's me, like, Elliot. And I was like, oh my God, it's Elliot. And, like, I remembered everything at that moment, but I did not remember who he was off of his face. Much less a username, so I apologize if... was in the stream a few times. Welcome back. We were talking, you said to me, come at any time, you're welcome to the stream. I say that to a lot of people. But you are, as long as you're chill, you're welcome here, man. If it's been a long time, like, when were you last here? Tell me that, because if it's been more than, like, 2 months, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have a hard time remembering. I've had so many people come and go over the last few months. People that were regularly watching my streams that I had great conversations with just disappear. So it's like, it's really hard for me to, like, remember because I've had it happen too many times, you know? I hope you're not upset by that. It's just happened too many times. It's very weird. I had one guy in here not long ago that was talking about how he was making steel for his, like, making iron and steel stuff for his entire Vintage Story server. So he was in here talking about it, like, every day. It was cool to hear these updates. And then he just vanished. He was just gone. Never came back. And that's how it's easy for me to forget people after a while. He's been gone for about a month. I remember his name, but give it another month or two, I won't. So I do apologize. That's just how my brain works. I had a friend at school, like 3 years after graduating. She spotted me in the shop. Was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, who are you? She dyed her hair blonde for black. See, that's a different thing. I had no idea who she was. Date my girlfriend through the devastation today, so I'm probably going to dip out soon, but I just want to say base is looking really nice. Thank you. Thank you, and welcome. I think there's only one streamer, but then there's X people in chats. Remembering is different. That's true. That's true. You guys see my face all the time. You know, and so you probably recognize me if you watch streams or some of my YouTube videos or whatever. But yeah, it's very, very, very hard for me to remember people. Like I said, like, there's a few people that stand out. There's one person who was in here while I was really early on in streaming last year. She stopped by all the time. I remember her because she would send me cat pictures and stuff through Discord and whatever. She was on a Discord server I was on, and then she disappeared and, like, ended all communication with me, which was odd. Was not expecting that, but it happened. But I remember her. I've got a couple other people that have stopped in over the years. Well, not years, but over the months, I should say. Over the last year. That have dipped in. They've had conversations with me, like, almost every time I stream. We get together, we talk for, like, 2 months, and then they just gone. You know? So those people stopping by, it's hard, man. It's really hard for me to remember people when it happens a lot. So none of you are allowed to leave ever. You're stuck here with me. I'm locking you down into my Twitch streams only. Never allowed to go anywhere else, okay? Because my brain will not be able to handle the coming and going of all these people. Who are you? Where is the streamer you who clearly is Gracie? Well, if you want a Gracie update, she is currently on top of my PC. So there's your update. She has settled down a little bit. I could vanish at any moment because I need sleep. Nobody needs sleep. That's a lie. You only desire sleep. The queen. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate you guys stopping in, as always, even if you haven't been here in a while, and even if I forget you. I'm sorry, but I do appreciate you always. You guys are chill and, you know, chatting away and having a good time, and we have good conversations. You're more than welcome to be here whenever it fits your schedules. Life is rough and changes all the time, so you make it when you can make it, and, you know, hope everybody's doing well. Online friends are hard to keep. I struggle with that too. Yeah, it's tough. I've got some buddies of mine that I used to play Destiny 2 with all the time, and now that Destiny 2 has fallen off quite a bit, they have switched to other games, and it's weird how many people will come together to play one game, and then you talk to them some more, and it's like, oh, what other games do you play? And they play a bunch of things you never, ever, ever in your life would play. You're just not into that same type of game. And you're like, oh, well, I hope this game doesn't die because we'll never do anything ever again because we don't play the same stuff. I still have buddies, though, that hop in chat even though we don't play the same games. But it is one of those, like, somehow this game has managed to capture a wide variety of audiences that play completely different games. My poor food. Time to eat fat. I'm gonna have to go out hunting when it gets to be more daylight. Actually, it's probably good enough now. Been in one just whose streams have never been vocal, hoping to change that. Well, I appreciate you stopping by and, you know, talk when you can or don't. I understand lurking and how that... Oh, hello. Ow. I understand that more people like to lurk than they like to chat. They don't like to be noticed. And yes, hi, Twitch chat. The dual streaming is a thing. It is, it's nice to have the setup and be able to capture both audiences. Alright, there are probably some very unlucky chickens that are about to be discovered. In today's journey, we're going to see how sharp a Felix blade is. How quickly can you cut through a chicken? Maybe. That is if I find chickens. Oh, funny thing. Because there was the fire and it burned down part of the village, I had a bear trying to capture, or trying to eat the village's chickens and stuff. It was very funny. Oh, are you fully grown or are you just tiny? Because there are tiny deer. Hey, a fox. Sorry, fox. I mostly lurk, but if I chat, I chat. It is a threat. I'm the same way, though. If I find a streamer that I like watching, and I start chatting, it is like a long, drawn-out thing, where we talk for a long time. Yeah, it was a tiny deer. It was a Prudu deer or something like that. But I can never tell if they're a baby Prudu deer and what they look like, or if that's fully grown. I just know that they're small. Is it Prudu? What is it? It's one of the deer types. I don't exactly remember. Pudu, not Prudu. But yeah, like a fawn. I guess maybe they have the spots. Maybe I should look out for the spots. Or I could just get this fully grown adult deer. Get over here and hunt the sportsman way. Chasing things down on your equivalent of a horse. Oh, why would you suddenly stop? This is definitely good for everybody involved. Are you gonna attack me now? Ow. Come get me. Do it. I can't believe you actually did that. I have a lot of friends who don't talk too much just because we don't have a shared interest. Yeah, it's rough. I hate that. Started my latest game. Also had a fire. The peat fire immediately into my playtime. I have not had an accidental peat fire yet. I have had peat fires from natural causes, such as lightning striking and creating a fire. And I have had deliberate peat fires because I have so much peat around my current house. And this is my second house I've had to build. My other one is about 25,000 blocks that way, towards the way we're currently going. Otherwise, I would have a lot more progress made at 6 years. I had 3 Hellhammers at my other base. I had steel making. And now I'm stuck here at not even iron yet. I'm just using steel tools until I can get back to where I was, but I have to find iron for that, which means I should go do that, but I kind of need food to go caving. Trying to light a kiln, forgot some grass. Oh, yeah. I was so worried about starting an accidental fire, not because I saw it online, but because I just, like, myself, I was like, oh, I gotta be careful not to light everything on fire, that I somehow managed to never have a fire like that. But I see it all the time, especially on the subreddit for Vintage Story. It's funny. It'd be like, days since last incident, 0. The server will, like, constantly be like, oh, well, somebody get the sign. Because peat fires are, like, way too common. Can't wait for 1.22 to come out. I'm yearning for those cabinets. Yeah. 1.22 is gonna be fun, for sure. And apparently they just released, I think over the weekend or just before the weekend, released Candidate 6? Or something, so we should be very close to getting 1.22 stable. Which will be cool, but that's going to change so much stuff. I don't know if I'm going to update this world. My goal was to try to beat this world before 1.22 came out, but it's just not... I don't think that's going to happen. With the amount of time that it's taking to do everything in this world, I just don't think it's going to happen. Gonna have to dip now, though. Bye, guys. See ya. See ya, dog boy. Thanks for stopping in today. Have fun hanging out with your girlfriend. Hope that they also extend the story. That's what I'm kind of scared of. is that they release version 1.22. I'll do the story that I've done, and then they'll be like, there's more story. I'll be like, no. Not that I don't want to play the story, but like I'm trying to like get the story done. Oof, I definitely do not have enough weak tannin. They're on 7 for the release candidates? Oh god. I thought it was 6. I'm not sure that they're extending lore in 1.22, but I think they said they're working on it. I honestly don't know. I'm so far behind on the updates, mostly because I don't like spoilers. Like, I want to see the updates when they're done. I don't want to know what the update's gonna have, like, in its entirety months and months in advance, because then I'm not excited for it. Then I just go play it early. But now I have this whole thing of like, I don't know everything that they're doing in 1.22, and even the stuff that I've read, I've probably forgotten a good chunk of it by now. You know, like, I know that they're messing with berry bushes, though I heard somebody say that they've adjusted the fertilizer thing for the berries. I think, hell yeah, that was you telling me. So it was like, I don't know what the adjustment is, though. You know, and like, I know they're adding cabinets and ways of storing things, and you're able to like rotate things on shelves, and that's really cool. But I just don't know, like, what... There's so many things that are happening in 1.22, and like, there's all these content creators that are making videos on like everything that's changing, but it's not even out yet. And I know that they're just trying to, you know, hit the algorithm and be like, everything that's changing, so that people come watch their videos and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like, for me, I'm like, let's wait for 1.22 and then be like, here's everything that has changed. That's how my brain likes to work. The only thing I heard about, and the only real reason I got into the berry bush thing, and the reason why I know that, is because it became such a big issue for the community, at least on Reddit. Everybody was like, I hate this. I was like, okay, now I gotta go educate myself, and I have to go see what they're doing. Alright, I need to grow my flax. That's what I need to do. Rift activity low, but I've seen like 2 rifts next to me. Things I'm most excited... Oh, the water wheel. Yes, I did hear about that, and I heard that they changed water in some way, so now you have to find, like, flowing or water or, like, rapids water, but that is more rare than normal water, so if you want to do water power, that's a thing. But, like, the water power has a lot of torque to it, so you're able to power more things, like health hammers at a little bit slower speed, maybe, or something like that. Like, I heard a little bit... People seemingly liked the stuff for the stuff for the water wheels and all that other stuff. That was at least the impression I got. I also heard that they changed windmills. Something about there having to be a certain amount of blocks away from another wind turbine for you to get, or like a rotor or whatever, for you to get the maximum power. So if you can't have one tower with 4 windmill blades around anymore. And so now people were joking that the meta for windmills is just going to be a tower with really, really, really long, like a, I don't know, 20 axles or something away from the center point to still maintain the most amount of power. Like, I've seen a lot of the jokes. Also, I have bread. Why was I starving so bad? I have bread. I forgot about bread. So yeah, I have heard some stuff, but it's like, I don't know, and for me, it's just, it's too early. You know, people are gossiping about things to The only thing I got into was the berry bush thing because it was the first time the community was like upset with the update. They were like, I hate this. Or some people loved it, but your whole tree farm did not vernalize. Oh no. Is it too warm? I don't think you told me that. Because they have to go through it, right? In order for them to start, like, producing food. As, like, part of the process. Ah, that sucks. Look at all my bees. Look at all my bees. I have so many skeps ready to harvest, but I don't have a lot of cattails, so I'm holding off for now. Ooh, some of my cattails grew back, which means that likely some of my other cattails have grown back. I gotta get down there with my scythe. I still didn't grab my flax seeds. Got me talking about updates, and then I went and put stuff away and didn't grab my flax. 5 beautifully growing established apple trees that I wanted to graft onto, but they are not vernalizing. Trying to build another tree farm a bit further north. I have to wait a whole year to see if they will or will not bear fruit. If they establish. Yeah. I like the way it sounds like for fruit trees, the best way to handle all that is just to, like, you know, kind of just like go with the flow. If you find a tree that is in that area, then just grow those, basically. I know you're trying to, like, you moved everything south so that it's warmer and that you wanted to have all these different fruits. You went on an expedition for them, but I think my strategy forever is just gonna be, hey, look, a pear tree, which means pears can grow here, which means I'm gonna do that and not try to mess with it. I was so happy to see that I had a cherry tree over that way. I've never seen cherries in this game. I've never harvested them. I was so excited. I'm very excited. I cannot wait to have some cherries. One thing I did hear about version 1.22, though, in terms of fruit trees, since we're kind of on the topics, I heard that they fixed the fact that year 0 fruit trees don't bear any fruit. That's apparently a bug. I thought that was intended normal gameplay so that you wouldn't just go to fruit trees, but apparently they've fixed that. So that means that you can get fruit from naturally spawning trees that year, which is really nice. Okay, I don't have flowing water, so this stuff's gonna get dry, but I can still grow all my flax. I need to have grain for animals to feed them. I just have to be a little bit more vigilant on watering. It sucks that I couldn't open up these blocks without these becoming or without it breaking the room system. That is the only annoying thing about how the game calculates rooms and not having the ability to make water source blocks, is that you can have flowing water, but you can't use it for a farm a lot of the times because you break the rooms. You have to have a really small farm if you're going to use one that has a bunch of flowing water. Very frustrating. You basically can't have a room bigger than this if you want to use flowing water, because as soon as you start doing that and you extend into other rooms, it breaks. So now I have to manually water basically this whole room just because of that. Which I don't really mind, but like if I go on an expedition and come back, there's just no water on these crops. I guess when it gets warm enough, I don't have to care about them being rooms, but still. There's no real good way around that. Oh yeah, and your temps changed on you. I forgot about that. Okay. I've been meaning to take care of some of this terrible, terrible landscape around my house for a while now, and I think I'm gonna start. It's been a long time, and I haven't messed with any of it, but I think it is actually time to do something about this, because it's just getting bad. Alright, so near my farm, I have this whole thing. I think I'm just gonna start going straight across here. I wish I had my shears. I could make more, but don't really want to right now. It takes forging and it uses steel that I don't have a lot of left. And I suppose I should probably make this the fancy rammed earth. This stuff. So it looks more like a path. I was wondering if you can have farm blocks on top of flowing water that counted as watered, but I never tried it. Because you can create it. You might be able to, but the trick with flowing water is having all the different, like, depth. So that means your farmland would have to be 1 block above the flowing water at all times, and that could be a problem because the water has to descend, and it might work. I've never tried it myself. But then again, that farm would have been a lot better if I didn't have... So the main problem is that with the terrain stability, I had stuff from the top of the mountain collapse down into my farm and eliminate water source blocks. That's the real problem I had. A lot of my water got deleted that way. I should have put a makeshift roof above it. At least above the water, so that couldn't happen. But I didn't, and so a lot of it got removed that way. Some people said that they really dislike the fact that you can have water source blocks created from a bucket of water. And I sort of agree with that, but my take on it is you should be able to then fill in an area with water buckets. Maybe they're not source blocks, but like, if there was a way to be like water block, like water source block, non-water source block, and then flowing water, and then obviously like dry spot or whatever, no water at all. That'd be great. If they could find a way to let you fill up and have like a small like pond area by filling it with water manually and being able to create your own area for your own farms without them being sources, because Like, I don't care. I don't have to take water from that location. I'm fine if I get it from a dedicated source block. I'll use that for, you know, cooking or whatever. Ow. Ow. What the heck? How did that happen? Okay. Hi, Gracie. Thank you for your big thumps that definitely got heard through the microphone. Because any vibration, any sound gets through this mic. Gracie, you big, beautiful kitty. I need you to get down. Or lay down or something. Ugh. I think she needs a new toy. Because the toys that I've been playing with her... Thank you for your tail. Thank you. The toys I've been using to play with her, I think she's getting bored of. She needs a new feather toy. She's not playing with them as the makeshift toys. Like, she's a very simple cat. She likes feather toys, strings, and paper balls. That's basically the only types of entertainment she'll accept. I've tried a bunch of other things, like I've tried getting her little mice. She doesn't really do anything with the mice. She has big mice that she doesn't really play with, except for when she's playing with them by herself. I've tried to take a big mouse and attach it to a string. I've tried to, like, throw it around the house. She doesn't go after it, but when I don't play with her and she's, like, wanting to play by herself, she'll grab the mouse and she'll start throwing it around and tossing it into the air and catching it and stuff. But if I try to do anything with it, she won't touch it. And like the only toys that she'll play with me are strings and feather toys and that type of stuff. I don't have any feather toys. They've all lost their feathers. And so I switched over to like paper balls and stuff like that because she likes those, and she was having a great time with those for a while, for like a few months. But now she seems to be bored of that. She doesn't play with them as much. Good night, Helia. Enjoy your sleep. Me too, eventually. Not for several more hours, but yes. Ow. I desperately want to find iron during this stream, so I'm gonna focus on just getting a little bit of a path carved out of this hill, and then I'm gonna go look for more iron. I know I've been saying this for like several streams now that I really want to find iron. But it's getting more and more apparent as I try to forge things that, you know, I have 5 steel ingots left and I am eating through them with, you know, the terraforming projects and everything that I'm doing, making farms and all this other stuff, that I kind of need to have a better source of tools and save the steel for the important projects. So yeah, I desperately need iron. Iron is just a nice tool working thing where it's like, I can mine with this, I can chop trees with this. You know, making shears out of iron is really nice because they don't break super quickly. I desperately need iron. Okay, so I should mine through this hill some more and just go straight through and tunnel through, but that's not why I did all this. I did this to just make things a little bit easier to navigate and see. If I can find a dedicated path towards my house through this mess, I'll be happy. Because at nighttime, or after a long journey, when you're stuck in stuff like this, it can be really hard to see where you're supposed to go. So let's not do that. I don't know why I did that. Hopefully this will stand out just a little bit more. I'd love to have some sort of light source here, but it's... unless I put a torch here, that's not really going to happen. So all I can hope for is that I kind of stumble across it. But this is a nice way into my farm. We'll start having enemies spawn very soon. The cattails! That's why I originally came out here and I completely forgot everything about the cattails. Because that will help me make lanterns, because I need them for the bees, so that I can get the wax, so that I can make the candles, so that I can make the lanterns. Yes, I knew they'd be ready. Hey, my trees are flowering over there. I shall have, pears pretty soon, actually. I'm gonna remove all of these cattails. I'm sorry, Soufflé, come back. So many cattails here. 42. That's good. Yes. Thank you, Obsidian Knife, for being the best knife. At least for poor people like me. Until I can get back to my iron and steel knives. And we have all these cattails too. Yes. Whoops, well, I guess I'm going one extra row. Maybe I'll make a gap. Hi, Gracie. What are you doing? Let's put a little bit of a gap between my cattail farms here. Aw. Good girl, Gracie. Okay, cool. Now we just need to trim these cattails. Ow, hi. Get out of here. Okay, I think I got them all. 63. Not including the ones that were already there that weren't ready to be harvested. Because I just planted them not long ago. That is pretty nice. I should have my lantern. Alright, I hope I have some food ready. I should have some turnips done soon. I'll have some carrots really soon. Those have been growing for a while. Let's get... Let's see if I can get 3 skeps. I should be able to, no problem. 1, 2, 3. Yes, perfect. And we're still over a stack of cattails in here. Perfect. And I think that's going to be all the skeps that I can hold in here. I might even have a little too much now. Perfect. All right. This room is completely full of skeps. Nearby flowers 64, 65. This one says 56. So what flowers are they picking up on? Could it be trying to pick up on my crops? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. These are pretty much all harvestable. This one's not, but these 3 are. This one is. This one is. Let me grab these 2 and then that one there. Let's see what we get. No angry bees. No angry bees. No angry bees. Hey, lucky. There we go. We'll make more skeps soon-ish. Yes, I know game. I have stew that's ready to go. I just have to get there. Almost a whole liter. Now 1.2. We have 1.6 liters of honey. Can you imagine being hungry and not having any food and then just being like, I'll drink a liter of honey. That'll be dinner for me. I can't. That just seems crazy. I left my lantern in my bees over there, but that's okay. I think. Sir, I need you to go away. Goodbye. I needed to make more lime water, and I just totally didn't. I needed to make more tannin, and I totally didn't do that either. Oh, come on. Close the door. Thank you. Meat stew. I know, game. I know I'm hungry. That's why I'm down here doing the thing with the food. That's not what I want. I want the seeds in here. Okay. I need to make more lime water so that I can soak more hides. And I need to make more weak tannin and eventually strong tannin. My lime is in here. This one, no, wait. Right there. We're gonna do all but one. And then for tannin, I need oak. Running a little low on oak, though I have plenty of trees to harvest if I could get some shears. So I might have to bite the bullet and make some bronze shears. Tanning hides gets a little crazy when you actually have to hunt things. I'm not used to having large and huge and medium and small hides all at the same time. Usually just medium or large if I was harvesting my sheep, but I didn't do that too often. All right. Candles. Beeswax. Right, that's why I did that. If I make enough candles, I can actually just put them in the chandelier I have in that room, and that will be more light for that room, though I don't think the amount of candles I have is great. I'm only gonna have 3 when I make this. I don't have any peat down here. I was gonna have a bin for peat, but I was like, you know, how often am I doing so? I should do it. I should do it. I should have it. I have like hundreds of them. I should have a crate here for peat so that I can do my smithing stuff. Hey, Demon, what's up? How was your weekend? Did you get the crate? Okay. You slept your weekend away. Fair enough, man. My weekend was stressful as hell, so I'd rather sleep my weekend away than have to deal with all that crap. So I get it. At least it was relaxing, maybe. Let's put the peat up here, I guess. More stuff pertaining to my mom? Yeah, kinda. More my mom and my grandma. They just... The two of them don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, and... But, you know, they still love each other because they're family. But, yeah, it was a little rough. My mom also had a problem with, My mom has this thing, and I don't know what causes it, neither does she. She gets swelling in her lower legs quite frequently. Edema is what it's called. That's just general body, like, swelling. But she gets it down in her lower legs. And it's a common thing for people, especially in northern, more cold climates that don't have a lot of exercise, to get it when they go into warm climates or when they have a lot of exercise. Like way above their average, because your body just retains that water more for some reason, and that's what ended up happening to her while she was up there trying to help my grandma, and it was like incredibly painful for her and just a big problem. She had to go to the ER twice, one of which was on Easter yesterday, so that was fun. And mostly we went to the ER just so that they could refill her, she actually got cellulitis infection of the skin. So they had to give her antibiotics for her skin, which they gave to her earlier in the week. And they had gone down, I guess, since I had last seen her. She had it and they swelled up a lot, but they had gone down. But apparently, you know, they weren't all the way, and she had run out of antibiotics. So she called the ER and was like, look, I was there a few days ago. I'm still having, like, an infection, and I don't want this to continue on. I don't want to, like, you know, have to go in for a worst case of cellulitis. Can you guys get me some more antibiotics? And they said no. They said in order for them to give her more antibiotics, she would have to go back into the ER and get reevaluated. Which, I get it. They don't want to just, like, write pills because somebody says something's going on. I get, but, like, antibiotics are not a controlled substance. So, I don't know. They said no, so we had to go back in there on Easter just for the doctor to go in and be like, huh, yeah, when I saw you last time, they were way worse than this. They're not that bad. Here's more antibiotics. And it took like an hour and a half to do this appointment just for him to be like, yeah, you just need more antibiotics and rest your feet. I was like, really? I hate healthcare. I hate it so much. But whatever, it's done. We got home. There was also, because of that, she had like the way the house is set up, it was her childhood home. She grew up there mostly, and So the way it's set up is like her bedroom was downstairs, and so she still uses that bedroom when we visit my grandma. She couldn't really get up and down the stairs very well with her swollen legs, so she just like didn't for a few days. And so she was like sorting and organizing things, and there was a big old mess that she left behind because of all the sorting. And like I had to go clean that up just because of the situation. So it took a while. Everything took a long time. And my grandma and my mom just weren't getting along very well at that point for whatever reasons. They just never have. My mom's always had an issue with authority, and my grandma comes from the boomer generation where a lot of the, like, it's my house, my rules stuff happens. And yeah, it just, you got issues like that. Are these carrots grown? No. Dang. I should probably grab these anyway. Out of the way, elk. But I don't want to dwell on that stuff. It was just very stressful, so I'm glad to be back home. The only peaceful time I had when I was up there was the times when I was going to bed, and I was like, okay, I'm going to bed. And I went down into my room that I had up there, and I had my little laptop set up, and I was able to play some Vintage Story for a little bit to progress through the seasons. So it's no longer winter in this world, it is spring. So I'm making some progress. I never found where my body was, but I did get my elk back. SOUFFLÉ. That's his name, so that's what the title of the stream is. He's back. He lost his antlers, but he's back. So now we can continue our journey and go explore and try to find that darn iron that I've been trying to find for like several streams now. I just need to like oh, that's a bear. Hello, you would be good food or something. At the very least, you're leather. I can't see behind me. Oh, please don't hit me. Oh, no, you don't. Come here. Riding the elk is so awkward looking in third person. Come here, bear. He's chasing after a raccoon. I have a pit for you, not this one. Further this way, towards my own animals, which is a bit scary, but you can't climb that. I got fences all the way around. Taking the bear to the Coliseum. But he can definitely climb out of that. What am I thinking? Taking him to the... Wait, he's hunting something else. I've got another pit. I just gotta make sure I don't fall into that one. Yeah, I got lucky. He came back when I was whistling. I just ran around and I was like... I was gonna go to a location where I thought there might be some iron. And so I whistled for him, and he came back. I was very surprised. He just teleported to me. So I know approximately where that is, but not exactly. So that's sort of the main issue right now. You stay right there, Mr. Bear. I don't know where my body is. I've gone and searched for it like 5 times already, and I can't find the location. I know I died near a trader. I had a lantern. I made sure I put the lantern down. So even if the trader doesn't have a lantern, it should shine brightly at night and point out the location. But I found 2 traders that had lanterns. I didn't find my lantern and my trader that I died at. And I've been through the forests near where the elk got summoned, so I don't know. Alright, this is risky, but I think it's worth it. Come here, bear. Smack. Ow, he still hit me from that? What do you mean? You're gonna have to do better than that, sir. Yeah, come get me if you dare. That's what I thought. And you killed the fallow deer, so I'm gonna harvest that and see what I get too. Watched a Ghibli movie earlier. Nice. I've never watched any Ghibli movies. Or Ghibli, as some people call it. I hate that. Do not call it that. In my opinion, that just makes it sound very wrong. I've never seen a Ghibli movie, though. I'm not gonna eat the fat. Ramen Flix has a lot of stuff you can watch for free. Don't know what the loophole is. Probably your data. Or just the fact that it's pirated. More than likely. There's a lot of... I have a few sites that I know of that, surf this high seas, if you will. But... yeah, I just never... I've never, like, sat down and watched anything like that. Not that I have anything against it, just doesn't... like, it's not a thing like, I should go watch something. I've heard they're really good, though. I don't watch a lot of movies. I think that's my real issue, is I just don't watch a lot of movies, so that kind of leads into not watching anything like that. Yes, game, I know. Cook faster! 1.22 fixes this too, where you can cook an entire stack of meat and not have to worry about one thing at a time, and that is honestly the thing I'm most excited for. Above all else. I don't care what else they put in that update. That not being able to cook an entire stack of bushmeat is the dumbest thing. Like, you can cook it like this, but it'll just go to 11 and reset the temperature, which is annoying. And it increases the time it takes to cook for each piece while it's on there. Cannot wait to have that fixed. Oh, I didn't get the bear hide? I carved it. I guess I just didn't have the space for it. Well, whatever. I'll grab it in a second, I guess. It's getting to be evening, but not too bad. How am I doing on fuel? We'll just put a couple more in there just to be safe. don't watch a lot of movies either, but I didn't feel like playing anything. Yeah, that's fair too. Because of the whole weekend thing, I didn't really have time to just sit down and watch a movie. The worst thing about doing what I do is every time I can't be home, I lose a lot of time actually doing stuff. The only thing I was able to do, because my laptop can't play games, is play Vintage Story at very low graphics and basically just wait through the winter. That's all I did, was wait through the entire winter as long as I possibly could. Carrots are done. Yay. Don't think I can grow too much more for carrots, though. I'm running out of potassium spaces for crops. My laptop basically couldn't play Vintage Story. It was kind of hilarious. Like, I turned down the graphics to super low, and it could actually run it and play it. But what I mean is, like, my render distance was non-existent. It was like, yeah, you can see about, I don't know, 50 blocks in front of you. And I'm like, oh god, I can't see far enough to even explore. So I just booted it up and then slept and sat in a chair. And basically did the hibernation thing. That way when I streamed today, I could actually go do things. That Bowtorn just fell. What are you guys doing up there? Why are you like this game? Looks crushed, probably. I'll be able to have some, like, carrot and red meat stew. Be the first, like, real food I've had in a while that's not just all turnips or all red meat. Notice I don't use a bow. Are they not any good? The best bow in the game is the recurve bow in terms of shot speed versus power. That's unique to the hunter class. The second best bow is a longbow, which is not something that you can't make or anything, but ammo-wise, it's really hard to find your ammo again, and it doesn't kill things very well. If you're going to go hunting with anything in this game, at the current time, the best thing to do is to use bronze spears. They don't have iron spears unless you're playing 1.22, which is coming out soon-ish. They're on, like, patch number 7 of that. But, that will add iron spears, but they're going to nerf the damage of all the lower tier spears to allow you to have iron. But that's fine, because iron is way more abundant. I think they're buffing arrow damage a little bit with 1.22. I cannot say for certain. But yeah, bows kinda are just worse than spears, because you can carry about 4 or 5 spears on your character if you're really going on a hunting spree, and just hunt that way. Because they can be tossed, they do more damage, they're easier to spot, and they auto-reload in your inventory. So like if you have 4 in your bags, but then you know, like 1 in your hotbar, when you chuck the 1 in your hotbar, it'll just pull 1 automatically from your bags into your hotbar. You don't have to quick swap or take up extra inventory space. I don't think that the bow and arrow is bad, but it's just like the easiest thing for all classes to do is just to make spears, and they last a long time, easy to see, easy to recover. Arrows you'll lose really quick if you don't use high tier arrows, which kind of sucks because you want like iron. You'd want like iron arrows, they do good damage, but then I think smithing iron arrows kind of sucks. Like, you make them at like batches of 9 or something at a time. Maybe you can make more. But the biggest problem I've heard most people say about it is that they just can't find them. They shoot them, they miss, and then they're gone forever. And you're wasting iron if you can't find your stuff. So, for me, I have used a bow, but it was a long time ago on a modded server where I was a hunter class specifically. In this world, because I'm a tailor, I don't use the bow. I made a bow. And had it at my other base, but I never made the arrowheads for it. I just kept forgetting. And the other thing is when you pan, you can find either copper arrowheads or copper spearheads, and copper arrowheads are just bad. So, yeah, being able to find copper spearheads. Copper spears are not amazing, but since spears currently in this version of the game only go up to bronze, they're basically the second best spear in the game. You have stone, you have copper, and you have bronze, though there is a varying degree in power for the bronze spears. But like, because you can pan and you can find copper spearheads, I've never made a spear really in like the last I don't know, like several, I don't know, I would say several years. It's probably been like 3 years of me actually playing this world. I have not made a spear during that time because I've panned and found copper spearheads and just used those for hunting, if I remember to use those. I typically, though, don't go hunting very much anymore. And if I run into a bear or wolf, I can usually tank it. I'm not usually out there specifically trying to hunt the bear or wolf. I'm usually out there to get it out of my way, or it's in my way and I have to actually eliminate it. And I believe there's a good strategy for dealing with bears by just backpedaling and sprinting, though I've been having issues with that on this character, but I'm also not using a spear, so I think that also has something to do with it. It's because spears have more range. So there is a way to do it, to kind of handle things without even needing to hunt them from range. There are mods to add more realistic things for hunting, so like blood trails and animals kind of bleeding out over time, footprints, they make sounds, all that type of stuff. But you got to go get like a collection of mods basically to make hunting a lot more viable. Otherwise, it's just hit thing with the highest damage thing you've got, which for me is a Steel Falx. So that's all I really use. Whoa! That's awesome. I have not been up on the mountain to see a misty fog like this before. That's really cool. I've seen it in my other base, but around here, since there's a bunch of lowlands, that's really cool. This game were less realistic. You could like cover your arrows in goo or something, make them glow. Yeah, there is a bit of that too, because it's going for hyper-realism. It's like really hard to find your stuff. Oh, this is gonna make navigating a pain. But I'm gonna keep going. God, how do I want to do this? I guess I could go mess with my farm for a little bit longer and just see, because it's really thick. So I need this. I guess it might be lightening up a little bit, but I need the fog to go away so that I can actually navigate. I should have some more carrots done soon. Onions take forever to grow. So does grain. Hopefully by the time I actually need to have the food, I'll have some more food ready to go. These berry bushes should be, yeah, flowering soon. I've got some pear trees over here that are already flowering. Uranium dusted arrows. And then you get to go eat that. Yay, radioactive meat. Wow. Wait, has this tree already flowered and produced fruit? Dang. All right, in about 2 months, I will have ready to go pears. Nice. And these berry bushes, it is slightly warmer here. I am realizing this now. 15 degrees Celsius. I think this area has been warmer than the area right next to my own house, even though it's not that far away. Yeah, out here is 12. $11. Yeah, it is like 4 degrees warmer for no reason right there. Interesting. I just built a whole greenhouse, but it's easier to move a greenhouse than it is to rebuild it. Or, I mean, to build it from scratch. So if I want to build my farm over there, I guess I could. This fog is a nightmare, though. I need to... Maybe if I keep going this way, it looks like I'm working my way out. Oh, it's raining. Nice. Ha! You thought they were gourds. Yeah, they're pears. Fruit will be a lot less of an issue now that I'll have real fruit. Hello, wolves and bear. It's actually warm enough in that area that it flowered and produced fruit before a lot of these trees got done fertilizing, which is crazy. Where's that wolf? Hey, dude, I have a thing for you. Why don't you, yeah, you come over here. Or don't. Look at you looking like you're so cute and perfect, but really are a pain in the butt. We just gotta not fall into the pit. There we go. Look at that! We've got 3 wolves and a bear in the pit. The world's most dangerous pit. Is that another bear? Oh, Lord, this is a mistake. I shouldn't do this. Everybody get your instant replays going, because this is going to be a mistake. I'm going to engage this bear from range, hopefully. Hit him, please. There we go. Yeah, he's coming. Oh, yeah, he's coming. Please run straight for me. There we go. Oh, 2 bears, 3 wolves. Oh, man. Oh, no. I better never fall into that pit. In fact, I mean, I have a flag around it, but can I really, like, really flag this? In fact, I'm gonna get rid of these blocks too. So if I, oh no 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 no, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. That's very bad. Very 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 bad. Was not expecting that to fall apart. Please stay down there. Hello, wolf. I don't care if you come after me. It's the bear I have to worry about. Oh. Okay. We can recover this. It's just not going to be a pit that I can trap things into anymore, but we can recover it so that things don't climb out of here. There. Alright, well, I can't cover up all those holes, but I can make another pit. I should have, taken into consideration the fact that the gravity was gonna probably activate. I just didn't, and now we have a very dangerous pit that is somewhat covered and not quite as dangerous. But I can make my second very dangerous pit probably over here somewhere. If I have to. I will have to make another one if I need to, though. That's the thing. Now, in keeping those animals alive over there, the game shouldn't want to spawn more bears or more wolves or anything like that in that general region. So hopefully that's the case. Oh, that was scary. I really thought I was gonna have 2 bears and 3 wolves chasing after me, but thankfully they weren't smart enough to climb out of the spot, and I was able to speed block that in. Alright, we need to go to where my zinc mine is, which should be over this way, past this bundle of trees. Over to the... this is north. This was copper, I think. I need to go over here because I don't remember where my iron reading was. I don't think I had one out here, but I want to check this area. I have not checked that same area. Do have to be careful though that we don't run into any more bears. That must have been copper. Ooh, what are you? Pear, okay. It's a big oak tree. I need that. I thought it was right around here. If it is here, I gotta clear this up because I'm never gonna remember. Yeah, I think I started a fire on this side, burned this all down as much as I could. Yep, right here. All right, we've definitely got to do something about this. Not necessarily about the floating leaf blocks, but I gotta mark this in a better way. At least coming from this side. I've got to be able to see. I call this my zinc mine, but really the thing I got the most out of was tin from this. See you, demon. Have a good night. I need all of this oak. Come on. I guess that's good enough. Okay. So down in this was a good harvest of tin. And I think I found some zinc, but didn't... Oh, I found some olivine too. Right. Okay. It's been a hot minute since I've been down here. I don't believe there's anything this way. Tons and tons of olivine. I can make tier 2 refractory bricks fairly easily with all this. Well, might as well do a density search for prospecting just to see if I even want to be here for the iron. Minuscule hematite, so no. Very poor tin, yet I found one of my largest tin deposits. Alright. It's not great on the iron. And there's zinc closer to my base I ended up finding, but I'm still gonna probably come over here and mine the zinc when I get back to having good food and going on big journeys and clearing out nice paths. And all of that can happen when I have iron, because then I don't have to worry about my tools breaking as much. They'll break, but then I'll have replacement iron tools instead of using all my steel. Alright, then we need to go prospecting. We have minuscule hematite. That does mean that there is a very, very small amount of iron in this chunk. So we need to go to the next chunk over about. I don't exactly know where that is. We could probably do something here. Not even a hit for hematite on that one. Still good zinc. That means I'm not getting closer to the iron, but I don't want to be all the way out here for iron anyway. I know I have better readings and stuff closer to base. So let's head over to the mountain and see if we can get at least a minuscule or bad reading of iron from over here. No. Okay, so in general, this area is not the area to search so far. Very poor native copper. Neat, I guess. That's a cool looking mountain. Should probably head back home though. It is getting to be evening. I do not want to be lost. Check to see if the carrots are done. Maybe I'll have turnips done too. Probably not. Not yet. It's funny, the day I want to go exploring, it decides it's going to be foggy all day around here, so now I had to go where it wasn't being incredibly foggy all day. Hopefully I can go back towards my native copper and find something over there. I was kind of far away and I got lost last time, so we're gonna have to make some markers of some kind. Make sure we water everything. Gotta keep that moisture level up. And it might even be time to break the greenhouse effect on the greenhouse. As we are approaching May, things are going to get quite warm. It just can't be colder than 8 Celsius. Because that's what the rice needs. I don't think that'll happen, but that's really the thing that's holding me back from doing that. Turnips are not going to like it when it gets too warm. I guess I'll come over here, and if the game will let me, depends on the fertility rate of the soil here. Maybe I can grow carrots just passively over here, because it's warmer at all times. So like down here, maybe. Yeah, that'll be fine. And grow those bundles there. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and do all 6. It'll take longer to cook, but that's okay. I can eat a carrot to make my character stop. There. No, not my pickaxe. Carrot. $30 liters of weak tannin. Okay. What is it? 4 per thing? No. Is it really? It's got to be more. It's got to be... Oh, wait. I'm dumb. That's why. I think it's 4. Oh, gotta stretch. I'm gonna eat this food and then get out of my chair for a second. Oh, that's so much better. Okay. I gotta put the torch back here so that I have light. Alright, that should be pretty well lit up, but just for safety, I'm gonna sit here, take a small break. Okay, let's get back to it. How did that not hit, like, twice? Oh. There's a temporal storm? No, there's a rift literally right... Where is that? It's gotta be, like... under me? Above me? Well, I suppose I'm moving over here and I'm putting a lantern down. What the heck? Well, it's not there now. What the heck was that? Alright, eat this bowl of stew. There's like nothing left of that. I guess I'm taking this with me. I need to put the wood away, and then I need to go out and I need to find this iron. So we gotta put the oak in this box. Or tannin making. The rest of it can just go into this box for now, and then these basalt stones. Go there. Oh, I have tons of grass. I'm gonna put the grass in here. Oh, no. No, no, get out of that. Alright. That should be pretty good. A little bit of inventory management never hurt anybody. Or putting that there. Okay. Off we go. And it's no longer super incredibly foggy. Soufflé, you're gonna hurt yourself, buddy. Ow! What'd you do that for? Alright, before I go, one final thing. Gotta re-water. Ooh, I got some turnips that are done. Okay, Oh, hi! Jeez! I know you're trying to follow me because I did the whole whistle thing, but, like, chill out, buddy. Alright, and then over here, and done. Okay, and you're too dumb to fit through the door, so hopefully you just teleport again. Yes. No. There you are. Don't do that. Bad. Okay. I need to find where I found that copper deposit a long, long time ago. Because I had a poor hit, I think, for iron somewhere in that general vicinity. Ooh, more flowering trees. One's a pear. Is one cherry? Or is one apple? That looks like maybe cherry. Get out of the water! Oh, it's definitely... Oh, it's red apple. Oh, nice. Pear and red apple. Nice. So pretty. I love it. Can we just... cut this away? Like, I'm never gonna see these. I didn't see them last year. But hopefully by opening this up a little bit more, I'll make this just a little bit more apparent that there's something here. And not just a pile of leaves on a hill. And I can even mark this with a little pillar thing as a location of interest. Alright. So, where the heck was I for that copper? That's what got me lost, and that's what caused me to have lots of problems and no elk for a while. So I must have been very, very south, south, what direction is this? South, west of my house. Yes, this would be southwest. And I found the copper. And then I'm pretty sure I never brought any of that copper back because I didn't make it back. And that was some of the stuff that I lost. Not that the copper's really that important. That's a wolf. Alright, we need a landmark. Alright. This is either gonna hurt a lot or I'm gonna ninja this. I ninja'd it. Oh, hell yeah. Come here, wolf. Where are you running off to? It's just you and me. Oh, not going for it? Not going for it? Too bad. I'm not gonna let you come bite me. His weight's good, which means fat. That is nice to have. I never went and got that bear pelt. It's probably despawned by now. Oh well. Oh, it's so nerve-wracking. I shouldn't do that. But it's faster. Oh, none of that hit him. Good job. Very poor hematite. Alright, I mean, very poor is still something. I'm happy to hear that there is something out this way. So let's keep going this way a little bit more. What was our reading? 0.21. Let's keep going this way. Just a bit more, like this hill. Let's check out this hill. There's actually a cave here. But first, let's just do that. I don't trust this at all. Very poor point 0.7. So I went from 0.21 to 0.7. So that's higher. That is trending higher. That's good. Keep going this way. Alright, let's check this mound. Nothing. I go from trending higher to absolutely nothing. Okay. Then let's go. Hopefully going more east will be better. Hopefully going this way we'll get a better reading, because this will be sort of more in line with the village. Be better for making a path. Okay, we need to mine this hill. One, two, I did this block, so 1, 2, 3, this should be good enough. decent tin. No hematite. Okay, well, I don't need tin. I got tin. You don't use much tin anyway. Right, so then the only direction, hopefully, other than back that way where I came from, is this way. .25. Then I gotta go back where I came from, I guess. .99. Okay, that's good. That's good. This is trending higher. Oh, this is good. Alright, we just need to keep going, I guess, this way. Let's prospect closer. Also, eat carrot stew before I start honking. .35 worse somehow. All right, so this was 1.99 and that's 1.35. Then it can't be a very high reading. I'm gonna just guess that my iron reading is gonna be low. But that doesn't mean it's impossible to find. One, two, decent hematite, 2.36. Okay. This is looking good. I will flag this just ever so slightly. Let's see about this hill here just to see if it's a slightly higher rating or not. There we go. That's the cascading effect I wanted. We just gotta unbury a part of the mountain here. $2.35. That's about the same. In fact, that is, yeah, just about the same, and it went down ever so slightly. I think that's the best reading we're gonna get, guys. So, let's get Soufflé back over here so he's not lost forever. And then I need to flag this. I fully intend to mine this until I find iron, basically. Hi, Soufflé. Holy crap. You don't need to be right here, dude. You're gonna die. I did not want him to teleport up here. What can I do? That's not the worst fall. Yeah. Okay, we're fine. You stay right there. It sucks that I lost all my rope ladders. Because they would be perfect for mining right now. All right. Oh, well. Oh, I didn't take any damage. How about that? Cool. I guess we're mining. We gotta get out of conglomerate. Into the real rock strata. Quartz, okay. I could maybe use a little bit more quartz. Limestone? Well, I won't say no to limestone. Bauxite. Hey, well. The only thing about bauxite is I don't think, hematite can be found in that. We've got hematite in sandstone. Let's just do pour. Let's see what the rocks are. So we've got in phyllite, in peridotite, in sandstone, granite, and limestone. So I can have it in limestone, so I should be searching this, but no bauxite. So we need to be prospecting around here. Let's do a node search. Quartz, small amounts, great. Is all of this just gonna be bauxite? Because, like, cool, but I don't need that. I need iron. Was not expecting to find bauxite. There's peridotite. Okay, so there's a good chance if I run into iron, it is really deep down. This is gonna be spawning, like, tier 4 enemies type of stuff. Quartz, small amounts. Nothing after that. Okay. Nothing. I don't really have enough ladders for this. Soufflé. Okay, you're up here. Good. We gotta go home, buddy. It's getting dark, and it's been storming, like, non-stop. So I think we'll have to call it there for tonight, for tonight's stream. I'm gonna head back to base, not do too much more, but I think that's gonna be it. We have not found iron, but I did get a decent reading for it, which means I can go back out there now and just mine the heck out of it. Make sure I get all the sticks that I got tons of sticks at my base. I don't have rope ladders, which is unfortunate, so if I don't find iron, I'm gonna have to waste a ton of ladders, but that's just what's gonna happen, I guess. So we'll go back to base, probably make some food, eat some food, and then I'll try to, off-camera, find the iron. Because it is approaching 7 p.m. my time, so it's time for me to get going soon. Just to make it through this terrible terrain, which once I find iron, I am totally bulldozing this whole entire landmass. This whole thing just needs to be flattened out, and there needs to be a nice path. Once I find iron, as soon as I verify that there's iron over there, I can invest the resources into cleaning this whole thing up, because I'll have the iron. I can make iron tools and just go from there. I can't believe this whole region is several degrees warmer than just over there where my house is at. It makes me want to make a farm that's like not next to the village, but kind of as close as I possibly can be. Because this area is kind of that. That little barrier is because that's the village border. Ooh, that was a jump. I realized I had a change of plans. I was gonna go up to my base, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna go to my farm. So I just totally about-faced and tried to turn on a dime that did not work. I gotta keep up on the watering of this area. I hate this as part of my base. I'd much rather just have flowing water and not have to deal with that. At least for there, but I've got turnips. I should have carrots. I've got cabbage that's almost done, which will be a godsend. And spelt is sort of coming along. Onions are getting done. This is looking so much nicer. I actually have to go water over here yet. Rice is still at stage 3 of 10. Not great. These turnips are almost done. Alright. Just gonna put this down for a second so that I can see what I'm doing. These carrots are done. Good. And that means I can take some of these turnips I'm getting, because I'm gonna have onions in a little bit. Take some of these turnips and use them for food for the animals. Or food for me to stop honking for a second. I'd rather wait till the flax grain, but turnips are super fast crops to make. Hey, Lit Fuse, thanks for the raid. Welcome, everybody. You're catching me at, just the moment when I'm actually about to log off myself. I'm on a quest to find iron in this new area of the map that I'm on. It has been rather unsuccessful, unfortunately. I did find a decent reading, though, so I gotta call my stream soon, but, I'm gonna go off camera probably and mine that. But in the time being, I'm gonna manage my farm as best I can. It's kind of a scuffed farm. But I appreciate you stopping by anyway, even if it's just for the last few moments, honestly. Now I'm gonna have to find somebody to raid. We'll play leapfrog with viewers. But I have no idea who I'm gonna raid. So it'll be fun for everybody involved. But yes, we are doing in general, before I like end the stream, just so you guys know what this is all about, if you want to come watch it in a little while. I stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Wednesdays are earlier than the Monday and Friday streams. But this world is my first story world I've ever done. And I'm playing with no map for this entire story. And I am on year 6. And I moved over to the village, so all of my stuff, my steel mining and, or my iron mines, my steel making, everything got abandoned. My 3 helve hammers, my 4 sail windmill. I'm very upset about that. But we're starting a new life in a better location next to all the story. Snowball the raid until the mightiest raid obliterates somebody. Exactly. But yeah, that's what's happening in this world, so I'm just about to hopefully discover iron over in this section of the map. Because I don't have a map, it's really hard for me to know where I'm going, and I think I left my lantern down there. Whoops. It's very hard for me to know where I'm going, and so it's not easy for me to make trips back and forth between bases. And if I die, I lose, like, everything. Because, especially if I'm traveling between bases. So that's kind of the trick. You have no idea where you're going at any time. It's been a fun challenge. I like to do challenge runs. So this is just scratching the right itch, but we didn't really get too far other than hopefully finding iron today. But if you're interested in that, feel free to stop by when I'm not about to log off. I also do have a YouTube channel if you guys are interested and you can't catch me live. I have VODs being posted there of this run. And, yeah. Love to have more people around for sure. Come on. Because I just moved over here, my farm facilities have been less than adequate. And I'm just getting some decent harvest so that I can actually have some food. I also have a cat. Her name is Gracie. I do show her from time to time when she's around. She just jumped up to look out a window. You may have seen her jump in the background. She's very cute. We are cat lovers in this channel. So if you enjoy seeing a cat march around and occasionally bother me and get all over my keyboard and all that other stuff, that happens a lot too. Alright, we got some real food now. Let's see. Let's cook the bushmeat just because. The last thing I'm going to do is feed my farm animals. I really want to have some pigs. Right, not having that lantern is a little annoying, but I'll be able to grab it here in a second. fact, I'll take the shortcut down. I made this shortcut over here so that I could get direct sunlight to this part of the greenhouse, so that it would actually be a greenhouse. So it's a nice quick way down here. Yoink. And now this could have carrots. That's fine with me. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna work on not having carrots here, and instead over at a different farm. That farm was over here, but yeah, I'm built pretty close to the village. To Nadia, so it's just over here. The only problem is I wanted to make my base right here. You can see I was starting to do some work, but it's not temporarily stable. It's a very slow drain, but enough that it's not going to work, so I've got this old abandoned farm of mine. But there's the village. So I even made a little tree farm and everything, and it is a few degrees warmer here for no apparent reason. And I did not really realize that, so for the time being, whoops. For the time being, I'm gonna try to grow things like berry bushes and fruit trees over here, because they will actually flower quicker. And I might have to try to move my farm over here. And I can't create water source blocks either. Because this is some wilderness survival settings. The only thing that's changed basically from wilderness survival is that I can have prospecting. And I have 1,000 block respawn radius instead of a 5,000 block respawn radius. Because this was actually like my first real world of Vintage Story. So playing when you're pretty new to the game and having a 5,000 block respawn radius is really, really bad. New player never gets an established world. It took me 4 resets before I could actually get to this point and have a world where I would do well. The other worlds didn't make it more than a few months. Okay, there's my boar. Okay, there's my sow. She is ready to mate, but the boar won't mate yet because he hasn't eaten anything. I believe they both have to eat for this to work. And then I've got these, Takins? I think they're called. I've never heard of them. But, they're over here too, which is kind of cool. Come on, boar, do your thing. Eat some food. So I'm hoping to get a farm of these guys too. I don't have enough food to spare for them yet, though. When I get some flax grain, I will do what I can. But that should help me get some pigs. I'm gonna eat these here, and then I will have to find a streamer to raid because it is time for me to go. Unfortunately, you caught me at just the very end. I'll have to end my stream on YouTube. Da-da-da.